bang. Salute, my guy. What's Papino? What's Papino? What's Papino? We gotta have a dope one today, man. I gotta talk about this joint today, people. Your boy is found not guilty. Wowzers. Wowzers. Nasty work. Nasty work, people. Just nasty, man. Well, that lawyer's dope. That lawyer dope. He tearing them up. That lawyer tearing them up. But what's going on with the people, man? How everybody doing? You know what I mean? All that good ish. You know. What's the word? What's the word? Hope everybody is well. Hope everybody is well. We got Hollywood Ming in the building. We got Hollywood Ming in the building. And that joint is, it went from this was a shut and closed case to not guilty on all charges. Wow. That's wow. The dude with the young Dolph situation, they trying to say mastermind everything. Hernandez Govan. Yeah, he was supposed to be the middleman between Jook. I'm gonna say just Jook, but Jook represents CMG. You already know that's Yo Gotti. Speculation. He might have did one of those, told on the dead. Speculation. If you ask me, that's what he did. If you ask me, that's what he did. You know what I'm saying? If you ask me, that's what happened. You understand? He told on the dead. Asia, salute. Appreciate the pull up. Yeah, he told on the dead. If you ask me. You know what I'm saying? Tavon Miller, salute. Appreciate the pull up, King. Yeah, so, at the end of the day, how else could you look at it? Yeah, that's a fact, man. Nasty work. Nasty. And it's good, to me, it just took a turn. It took a turn left somewhere. You know what I mean? It definitely took a turn left somewhere. And I think it's going to keep turning because that thing looked suspect. Vic, salute. Appreciate the pull up. Yeah, that thing looks suspect, people. It just looks suspect. You know what I mean? Like that whole ordeal. It was too much information put out there. Monique, salute. Yeah, it's just too much information put out there, right? One. And two, if you got the shooter saying, yo, listen, this man paid me to, A, B, C, D. Like, I don't know how his lawyer got that off. They say it's the same lawyer that Dirk got. Manny something is his name. Said he's awesome, man. But this is wicked. He made that whole defense look bad. Because their defense was the shooter. The dude who was telling was the shooter. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact, Tavon. The best way to stay up out of it. Stay up out the way. Yeah, that's the best way to stay up out the way. Word. And it's nasty on all parts. All parts of it is nasty due to the fact that somebody got hired to carry out a situation and they didn't get paid. Like, dude would have never told if he would have got paid. So what they doing now is using dude to supposedly get at Hernandez Govan. So the dude that's telling the shooter is saying Hernandez Govan paid me. Renegade Society production in the building. Salute, my guys. Yeah, so the shooter is saying Hernandez Govan paid me. So now as the dude that's doing the telling, the word around Natown was that Govan was already a rat. This joint is nasty, man. Yo, I'm like, hold on. Govan was already a rat from which the word in the neighborhood. Can't make it up. Can't make it up. And he was found not guilty. It ain't say nothing about he took a plea, no nothing. This case is getting spooky. It's getting spooky, people, this case. You know what I mean? And, you know, I'm not here to play judge, jury, prosecutor, district attorney. I'm not here to play none of that. We just here to talk our talk and how we feel, or should I say, how I feel about what's going on and what's taking place. I can't talk about nothing else. You know what I mean? So this is from how I view it. You dig? This is from how I view it. You understand? So, you know, appreciate the people that's pulling up. You know what I mean? It's your boy 050 Bucks, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back, aka Mr. Bucks De Niro, aka Ozzy, aka Mr. 10453, aka $1 billion Bucks, and the AKAs go on and on and on. When y'all come in the building, y'all already, man, hit the like button, share the live, and, you know, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Go check the community wall out and tap in. You know what I mean? Tap in. You know, what I do over here, you know, I read the news, dissect the news, and then break the news. Soldier of God, he just wanted to remind you, God loves you. I appreciate that, Soldier of God. Thank you. Appreciate the pull up. Thank you. So that's what I do over here. You know what I mean? We ain't no right, wrong. None of that. Speak on how I feel, what I see, what I think. You know, we have a great show. You know what I mean? And have a great show. But it's definitely getting ugly. It's really looking ugly. Cause it's like the more information that they pulling up, you know what I mean? The more information that they pulling up, people indicating, you know, Yo Gotti, his brother, And this Hernandez dude, I don't even know how. Somebody doing something, man. Somebody doing something. Word. Somebody is doing something. Ain't that much good of a lawyer, man. There's no way. It's just no way. It's no way, man. It's no way. You know. And me guessing from when I'm, hearing out the lawyer mouth, he sounds like he's comfortable. Just talk real talk, monster more in the building. Salute, my guy. Hearing the lawyer talk, he's been around, this kind of atmosphere before. He uses word like just keep it real. Um, when you pour, you know what I mean? He using words like he been around. You know what I mean? And he's a bad man pajama, man, right now, because to get Hernandez Govan out of that, whoa. I don't know. I don't know, people, like that. That thing is that is scary. It's scary. When you got the shooter people, y'all must ain't been watching it, man. The shooter is telling the jury, this is the guy who paid for the hit. Crazy. And I would say it's a little similarity to the dirt, but it's not, because from so I think the difference is dirt had direct contact. Which in this one too, you really look at it, Govan, he had direct connect to these dudes. Only one who name don't come up like as far as having direct connect is Jook. It's the only one. It's Jook. I know that lawyer is a bad man. That lawyer is a bad man. Yes, indeed, people. Welcome to your boy 050 Bucks. Or should I say welcome. Appreciate y'all for popping out, rocking out with your boy 050 Bucks, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Smash on that like button. Share the live. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure when y'all subscribe, go to the notification bell. Hit all so you get all my notifications. But this is, I had to talk about this. Word, I had to talk about this. Yeah, this was one, this right here is gonna run the media for a minute. So I said, let me get in and get out. Pause. But this is gonna run the media for a minute. Trust and believe that. Trust and believe that. It's gonna run for a minute. That's a fact. It's a whole fact. That's why it's like, let me get in, do what I do, you know what I mean, and get up out the way. It's just ugly, man, when you start you know, breaking down like, wow. You know, it wasn't like he had daylight. Oh, he might nah. That thing just looked like he was finito. I even think he felt he was finito. That's a fact.
Dark side lurking, when the fake ones vanish. Shoot right back. Yeah, my aim the tightest. If you chat reckless, get cacked in the chat. Perfect president, flash never M. We don't switch the script. Dark side biz, with a off skit clip. Boom, China brim, Harlem legend, platinum shine. All support y'all for the team. Gang, 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 gang. Man, that shit a game. I just spin the block, my content, live them tight, feeling lame. Hip hop news, more like hip hop else. I just thought it one, now we singing bells. All smooth, funny, but they still stuck. 050 bucks, Mr. Shoot right back. Us never, never, never. Miss me with the talk. I don't suggestion. Dark side biz, never stay on it, but we bring it on. Dark side season, where the snakes get peeled. Loyalty to code, but the get exposed. I'm the truth in fact. Cross that line, but we bring it on. Us never, them. We don't switch the script. Dark side biz, y'all apart the team. Gang. Minds flow with it punches. They be talking tough, but they move in fear. I just pop a top, let the truth appear. Man, that shit a joke. I just flip the scene, leave them in a choke. Dark side, dark side. Us never them. Us never them. Us never them. 050 bucks, Mr. Shoot right back. Dark side general, where the lanes get packed. All my supporters, y'all realest ones. Realest ones. Without y'all, this ain't fun. Silence. 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 Us never them. Us never them. Them. 050 bucks. Mr. Shoot right back. Dark side general. Where the lanes get packed. All my supporters, y'all the realest ones. Without y'all, this ain't fun. Yeah. Silence. Silence. Bust never them. 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 Side, yes. Us never. We don't switch the script. Dark side biz. Y'all about the team. Gang. Don't put it back. Dark side general. Where the lanes get packed. All my supporters. Y'all are the realest ones. Without y'all, this ain't fun. Gang. Silence. Silence.
Solution. Cuba 6'9", salute. Appreciate the pull up, my guy. Yeah, we gonna get to it. People. We gonna get to it. But we gotta, talk our talk. You know what I mean? Talk our talk. You understand me? You know. I don't know how many people out there checked out that Hernandez Govan trial, but he's not guilty. Found out not guilty on all charges. He walked home scot free today. That's a fact. Scot free. I also read today, uh, Young Thugger, he under the microscope. Young Thugger's under that microscope, people. You know, we all said this was gonna happen. Any little thing, any little thing. He taking shots at Gunner. Um, Looked like he had got pulled over. You know, they got that on somehow. How did they get that? How did they get the audio or the video to that? Like I be tripping on that. They got the audio and video, man. You know, of him, yo, just give me a warning. You know what I'm saying? Like it's bonkers, man. Like these dudes gotta know. Like they on my top like a dirty do rag. Let me fall back like I'm off balance. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Yo, D's, yo, and it's sad to say it, man, but I'm gonna say it. Yo, today's crooks is not yesterday's crooks. That's a fact. Today's crooks is not yesterday's crooks, people. It is no way, man, in God's green earth, man. The crimes that these dudes are committing. Just break this down. Let's just break this down for a minute. We gonna break this down, right? For the crimes that's being committed nowadays, way more lighter than the crimes that we committed back in the days. And what I mean by that is everyday hustle, right? When you look at today's crime, it's not an everyday hustle. Like you got a lot of these guys, let's say 70% of the hustle that I will call they hustle, but it's not a hustle. 70% of these little dudes is scamming. That wasn't in our arsenal. You know, if you were 70, I'm 77. So, you know what I mean? If you 77, 76, like that's not in our arsenal. You feel me? That's not in our arsenal. We was going to jail, running from the police, throwing crack, selling crack. Mixed up with a little bit of robberies. These little dudes, today, all they know is scamming. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, today's hustlers is not yesterday's hustlers, man. It definitely is. I mean, yo, it's at an all-time high, yo, of buffoonery, man. Word up. An all-time high. One thing for sure, two things for certain, what I will say, though, is right now, you have a lot. How would I say? It's like, like nowadays, financial stability should be, well, I'm not going to say should be. It's easy. Now, I'm not saying that they doing right with the money, because they definitely not. But the way they getting it is what I'm saying. Now, I mean, it should be, you know, happily married ever after. It's a fact. You got to think about it. 17, these dudes 17, 18, 19 walking around with a double-double in their pocket, man. Let's make it sound sexy. They walking around with a triple-double. Literally. My era, we wasn't doing that. I was in jail. That's a fact. I was in a can. Come home, get to the bag, go back to the can. These dudes not even going to the can. These dudes is, they in the way. They in the way. We dealing with an issue right now where somebody try to get to the munyan. Word, try to get to the munyan. And the dude ass betted. Facts. Facts. Somebody didn't pay up. Whether it was Big Juke or Hernandez Govan. One of them ain't pay up, man. Boy put the work in, you know, rest in peace to young Dolph. Rest in peace to young Dolph. You understand? But they ain't get that money on right. Up. They ain't get that money on right. You know what I mean? And when you look at a situation like that, come on, man. It's bonkers, man. Yo, can you? We just gonna take a moment, me anyway, right? And I put myself in that predicament, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Two things in my mind. We already scratching off stacking. That'll be a never. Meaning telling, aka telling. Never. But two things though, man. I'm never coming home and I'ma turn this out. That's a fact. That I mean, can for those that'll sit down and do the bid. $40,000? Boy couldn't even run correctly. He didn't have no money on, and they was curving him. So you doing your bid, bust your movie, and you get ass better at the end of the day. Cause I don't know, the way this joint looking, they mess around and give the dude who did the telling, he might get the elbow. He might get life. They gonna say, yo, listen, we gonna spare the debt, you gonna get life. Cause the dude, straight job, Justin, yeah, they did him filthy. They did him dirty. So, you know, he got to do that bid with telling on his jacket. and you ain't even get paid for your work. So he on the stand telling, telling everything. He said he wanted to clear his mind. This nigga's like a knockoff Woody on stand because they catching him in all kind of, and he letting them catch him. He telling all kind of stories. Now he ain't even get paid. He don't even know indirectly he's involving this young lady that was there. Oh yeah, I sent her in the store to get the car cover. Can't make this up, people. That's a fact. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. And to know all this information that they had on Hernandez Govan. This dude is like a Johnny Cochran 2.0. Yeah, this dude, he's like a Johnny Cochran 2.0, people. Like, the shooter got on the stand and told everything he did. So make sense of this. He got on the stand and told everything he did. Told about the person who paid them to do what he did. And he's not guilty. Not guilty. All charges. All charges. All charges. So what I'm gonna do right now is let y'all hear from the attorney of Hernandez Govan, which I think his name is like Manny or something like that.
I'm always on edge because there's cases I thought I would have won easily, and the jurors just get swayed by publicity, and the media has been so one-sided, calling you a mastermind. The press has been going crazy because only the DA talks, and that's the problem with our system, is because they make such a good first impression saying everybody's guilty, that it's hard to get a fair trial. But thank God we got jurors. They took hundreds of pages of notes, and it didn't take them, 2 hours to figure out this was all garbage.
And they virtually echoed everything that he said in closing, and they were very critical that anyone could be locked up that long and didn't have the resources to defend themselves. The jurors said that. They echoed that, and the guy said, I am offended. I'm offended by this. He said, and he was disappointed in Mulroy. And that's your elected official. That's my elected official because I live here. And you just go and do something.
It was called that testimony, Jesse Browning BS, a joke. Why? Because it was. Half the stuff was just made up within a couple of days of this stuff, and they gave us this mystical receipt that's never been in any of the police reports. The jurors didn't buy it for a second. The lead investigator, Dabney, was incredibly honest when he said these are the mistakes that we made, and then you call up somebody that's willing to do or say anything to clean up the case to get a conviction. You saw how they shaded off the phone records. Where are the text messages? Where's any of that from Justin Johnson to our client saying we're going to do something? I presented hundreds of text messages where he's threatening people, trying to go shoot people with others. Govan was never in on any of it. And the fact that you're still asking me these questions I find offensive because it didn't happen. You would never take anything you heard in that courtroom for any decision you would make in your life that has any significance. You would laugh at me if I said believe those guys. So let's just keep it real. This is all garbage, and I'm grateful that he's out, and I'm sorry in the world that he had to do 9 months in prison. And I'm just grateful that his fiance called me, and we have the resources to help poor people.
You were very passionate.
I got a problem with that. I don't know if that was part of the play, but I'm going to zoom in on that. We are grateful that we're able to help poor people. Did y'all hear that? Because I heard that. I heard that. Poor people? Somebody look at how much. Damn, I don't even know his name, man. Manny something. I know his name is Manny something. I wanted somebody to look his name up and see how much it costs just to retain him. Because he said he helped poor people. But let's just get back to it. That was wild.
In your closing arguments about, about Govan being just a man from Orange Mound up against the system. Kind of talk about where that passion came from.
When I go to 201 and look at the people that are in there, I know a lot of people do wrong, and I understand that, and I don't want violence in the streets because I live, in towns as well. But it's just so wrong. If I can see it, there's no way a jury couldn't see it, and that's why it took, 2 hours to figure that out. I mean, obviously, it would have probably been quicker had they not had to go through the evidence and do their job, but the fact that anybody in the press would say, oh, it was this or that, it was clearly flagrant, and I wish it would be reported as, this is what your justice is in Memphis. So if you're black and poor, you got a problem.
So Mr. Govan, how do you feel?
Mr. Roy, this is pro bono. I was unclear of that.
To finally have this stress taken off your shoulders.
Yeah, to have my life back.
What's the first thing you plan to do?
Go hug my son.
Mr. Govan, you haven't smiled all this week, but obviously you have a lot to smile about. Just tell me just about what you're feeling in right now.
Like I said, it's kind of hard to explain the feeling of getting your life back, just from 12 people, so I'm just blessed, and I'm just ready to go see my son.
What was going through your head when you were waiting for the verdict this morning?
Nervousness, of course, it's natural, but I got a team around me that was very confident and supportive, so.
Nervousness? Why would you be nervous if you know you ain't guilty? I just wanted to go hug my son. I ain't hear him say nothing about go sit down at the gravesite with my daughter. Because his daughter got unalive. Hernandez Govan. Not let me get it and go. Just go hug my son. I was nervous. What are you nervous for? It's crazy.
Without them, it wouldn't be no. I just want to thank again, man, Robert, Haley, Beth, Handel, Montreal, heard your attorney say if you're black and poor in Memphis, this is what happens. Who would be your words of advice?
Leave Memphis.
Do you plan on leaving Memphis, sir?
Of course.
Of course. He should be somewhere in medical right now. Just being honest, my man Mikey B voice. He should be in medical right now somewhere. That's a fact. I wouldn't even stuck around to make that introduction. He can't stay in Memphis. You know, unless we look at it from some other angles. That'll be another show. Because we could look at it from some other angles too. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Gotti might have. Don't worry about it. I need you to lawyer, you know what I mean? That's for another show though. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I wouldn't put it past. I definitely wouldn't put it past. Because that number one thing, man, when you get the shooter taking that stand, and he's telling you, this is the shooter. Telling. And they ignored all that. It's wild.
Was there any point throughout the week where you're like, you know what, I'm still nervous, prior to the verdict? Was there any point where it's like, I don't know which way it's going to go?
I've been nervous for 40 years.
How does it feel to be at the end of this 4-year journey that you've been on?
It feels great. I just feel like I've been born again. I get a chance to restart my life and do some positive things.
Do you think that this verdict will change how the court system is working here in Memphis?
As corrupt this system is, I doubt it.
Mr. Orr, do you think this verdict will change anything with the court system here in Memphis?
I'm not here for Memphis, but if this is a microcosm of what's going on, then you should all be worried. And maybe we should be digging into these things and figuring out why so many people are in jail, why we keep them without bond and force them into pleas and things of that nature, and why investigations aren't always there. Thankfully, my office has the resources to help these types of people and spend the money to do it. I can only imagine how hard it is for public defenders with their cases.
Yo, why does he keep using these words, these type of people, poor? What's that about? These type of people, poor. We got the resources to help these type of people. I'm sure if they look up your name, you ain't doing no case for nothing. That's why, zip it. That's crazy. Charles, salute, what's good, my guy? Always us, never them, you dig? Shane, salute, appreciate the pull up. Yeah. And it's wild because, you start to think like, yo, we got the shooters. One is telling. Money had to have been long.
Or other appointed lawyers that couldn't do this, and how many people shouldn't be in prison.
Oh, back in December, is that the reason? Obviously, so you advised your client not to take that plea.
That's always his decision. I don't advise him to do anything. I always say, what would I do? Like, I'm not serving the time, so I can't go through that stress. You can't duplicate that. I mean, I love the man. I believed in him. That's why I took the case. And we fought like hell for it. I'm grateful that the staff stayed with me. I yelled at them a lot this week. Put a lot of pressure on them. We worked long nights. For the last few months, we filed, I don't know how many 2 dozen motions, most of which were granted, which never happens. But it was so obvious we were right. And yet, still, we have a case. The government just can't ever admit that maybe there isn't anything here. They'll just prosecute, and then blame the jury if it doesn't go your way.
Don't spend.
It's crazy. Yo, he got to be Johnny Cochran 2.0. That's a whole fact, man. He got to be. He got to be. He got to be. He knew he was done. That's why he keeps saying, I was nervous 4 years ago. He was nervous 4 years ago. So I'm thinking that was when all this took place. Why you nervous? Tell him why you scared, son. Tell him why you scared. Thank you, Shane. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you. And for everybody else that's just pulling up in the building, man, appreciate the pull up. It's your boy 050 Bucks, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back. When you enter the building, make sure you hit the like button, please. Share the live, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit all on the notification bell. So when I go live, drop a short, new merch, hit my community wall, y'all be the first to get it. So I appreciate everybody for pulling up. As y'all see the thumbnail, Hernandez Govan not guilty on all charges. Who is Hernandez Govan, Bucks? Hernandez Govan is the guy who's supposed to be the mastermind in the Young Dolph situation, of the unaliving of Young Dolph. And I want to say either around that or before that, supposedly, allegedly, his daughter got unalive, maybe behind, I don't know, maybe behind whatever he got going on, you know what I mean? So that's who Hernandez Govan is. Supposed to been the guy who masterminded, or who was the mastermind of Young Dolph being unalive. Mastermind meaning, whoever the trigger man is, or you know what I mean, what's supposed to get paid. So as everything wrapped up, they found him not guilty on all charges. So that's what we talking about today. And I played the little audio after the trial, after the verdict was read, of the lawyer talking and Hernandez Govan. Lawyer sounds very, confident, but I just don't know why he keep using poor. It's like in to me. I don't know. I could be tripping. To me, I could be tripping. Let's say that one more time before we move in, to the other audio from the dude who told. Johnson, I want to say is his name. Yeah, Johnny Cochran 2.0. They say that's who Dirk got. That same lawyer, they say that's Lil Durk. That's Lil Durk lawyer.
I'm always on edge because there's cases I thought I would have won easily, and the jurors just get swayed by the publicity and the media. It's been so one-sided, calling you a mastermind. The press has been going crazy because only the DA talks, and that's the problem with our system. Is because they make such a good first impression saying everybody's guilty that it's hard to get a fair trial. But thank God we got jurors. They took hundreds of pages of notes, and it didn't take them 2 hours to figure out this was all garbage.
And they virtually echoed everything that he said in closing, and they were very critical that anyone could be locked up that long and didn't have the resources to defend themselves. The jurors said that. They echoed that, and the guy said, "I am offended. I'm offended by this." And he said, and he was disappointed in Mulroy. And that's your elected official. That's my elected official because I live here, and you just go and do something.
It was called that testimony with Jesse Browning BS a joke. Why? Because it was. Half the stuff was just made up within a couple of days of this stuff, and they give us this mystical receipt that's never been in any of the police reports. The jurors didn't buy it for a second. The lead investigator, Dabney, was incredibly honest when he said these are the mistakes that we made, and then you call up somebody that's willing to do or say anything to clean up the case to get a conviction. You saw how they shaded off the phone records. Where are the text messages? Where's any of that from Justin Johnson to our client saying we're going to do something? I presented hundreds of text messages where he's threatening people, trying to go shoot people with others. Govan was never in on any of it. And the fact that you're still asking me these questions I find offensive because it didn't happen. You would never take anything you heard in that courtroom for any decision you would make in your life that has any significance. You would laugh at me if I said believe those guys. So let's just keep it real. This is all garbage, and I'm grateful that he's out, and I'm sorry in the world that he had to do 9 months in prison. And I'm just grateful his fiance called me, and we have the resources to help poor people.
You were very passionate in your closing arguments about.
Did you hear that? He's glad and honored to be the law firm to help poor people. Crazy. That's crazy. So that's Hernandez Govan lawyer. That's his attorney. You know what I mean? We gonna get we about to get the Govan, and y'all hear what Govan got to say.
That are in there. I know a lot of people do wrong, and I understand that, and I don't want violence in the streets because I live, in towns as well. But it's just so wrong. If I can see it, there's no way a jury couldn't see it, and that's why it took 2 hours to figure that out. I mean, obviously, it would have probably been quicker had they not had to go through the evidence and do their job. But the fact that anybody in the press would say, "Oh, it was this or was that," it was clearly flagrant, and I wish it would be reported as this is what your justice is in Memphis. So if you're black and poor, you got a problem.
So Mr. Govan, how do you feel?
Mr. Roy, this is pro bono. I was hungry for that.
Oh, to finally have this stress taken off your shoulders.
Yeah, have my life back.
What's the first thing you plan to do?
Go hug my son.
Mr. Govan, you haven't smiled all this week, but obviously you have a lot to smile about. Just tell me just about what you're feeling in right now.
Like I said, it's kind of hard to explain the feeling of getting your life back, just from 12 people, so I'm just blessed, and I'm just ready to go see my son.
What was going through your head when you were waiting for the verdict this morning?
Nervousness, of course, it's natural, but I got a team around me that was very confident and supportive, so without them, it wouldn't be no. I just want to thank again, man, Robert, Haley, Beth, Handel, Trail, Leanne, just everybody that played a part and proving my innocence.
You heard your attorney say if you're black and poor in Memphis, this is what happens. What would be your words of advice?
Leave Memphis.
Hey, yo, you heard that? Your attorney. Yo, hold on.
You heard your attorney say if you're black and poor in Memphis, this is what happens. What would be your words of advice?
Leave Memphis.
Do you plan on leaving Memphis, sir?
Of course.
Was there any point throughout the week where you're like, you know what, I'm still nervous, prior to the verdict? Was there any point where it's like, I don't know which way it's going to go?
I've been nervous for 4 years.
Now that's where I'm like, what are you nervous for 4 years? That sound like when it first happened. Like, why was you nervous? You know what I mean? Like, what part of the case made you nervous? Was it you might have end up doing life? You know what I mean? You might end up doing what you did, and that's whatever you did to get out. Then I want to know, was he paid for, or was that like, because he's talking like he's a public defender or something like that. I don't know. I mean, because he keeps saying black people, poor, you know, them type of people. You know, he keeps talking from a state of people that's underprivileged, and he finds a way to put it out there. That's a fact.
How does it feel to be at the end of this 4-year journey that you've been on?
Feels great. Just feel like I've been born again. I get a chance to restart my life and do some positive things.
Do you think that this verdict will change how the court system is working here in Memphis?
As corrupt this system is, I doubt it.
Mr. Aurora, do you think this verdict will change anything with the court system here in Memphis?
I'm not here for Memphis, but if this is a microcosm of what's going on, then you should all be worried. And maybe we should be digging into these things and figuring out why so many people are in jail, why we keep them without bond and force them into pleas and things of that nature, and why investigations aren't always there. Thankfully, my office has the resources to help these types of people and spend the money to do it. I can only imagine how hard it is for public defenders with their cases or other appointed lawyers that couldn't do this, and how many people shouldn't be in prison. So, back in December, is that the reason? Obviously, you...
Yeah, that throws me right there. Word, that throws me right there. Just hearing that is just like, um, I mean, if you are a public defender and you are out there doing these things to help underprivileged, people with their cases, salute to you. But I think you just doing a little too much undermining, should I say. You know what I mean? But we gonna get into the things that were said about Hernandez Govan.
I want you to read paragraph 17 to yourself. I have a handful of questions.
Pay attention, people. This is the guy that's telling. This is the evidence they have against Hernandez Govan. And this guy is also the shooter who unalived young Dolph. This is the guy that's on the stand. That'll be talking to you briefly. It's nasty work, people. Word, it's nasty work. We ain't gonna go long-winded with it. I'll probably give us like 20 minutes. I'll probably do like 20 minutes.
Okay, I have a bunch of questions.
So now what's happening is the lawyer's breaking him down. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things. I tell you, he's like a reject Woody. So the lawyer pretty much is breaking him down right now. Making him retell his story. and he's not doing a good job at it because there's a lot of things he forget. You know, um, he was pilled out. You know what I mean? Meaning he had a lot of pills in his system, so he was under the influence. But yet he can remember this and can't remember that. So the lawyer going to the jail phone calls. You know how that go. But let them continue.
You remember talking to agents back in August of 2022. You established that, right? All right. Who is Vanessa Covington? Also, all right. And you stated to the police on August 10th of 2022 that you had Vanessa Covington, I guess her name is Holmes, try to reach out to a lawyer for you, right? Correct. All right. And then she told you that we don't have any money, right? Correct. Her husband contacted a lawyer named Horace Bailey, is that right? Correct. And that you told her that you needed to get word to Mims, to Arthur Horn, attorney for Anthony Mims. Correct? Correct. So you told your sister to reach out to Joe's lawyer, Arthur Horn? No, I did not tell my sister. I told the lawyer did. Okay, so you told your lawyer, reach out to Joe's lawyer, Arthur Horn? He gave money. Okay. But he didn't represent me. All right. And so the lawyer did get some money from Arthur Horn.
So now let's stop there. So how would he know Juke's attorney? You know what I mean? How would he know who's Juke's attorney? How would he know that? But let's continue.
No. And Arthur Horn is Joe's lawyer, right? No. Okay. And then at some point, Mr. Bailey advised you that payments have been made. Yeah. And it was supposed to be $50,000, right? Supposed to be. And there's no trailer, it's just cash, is what he told you. You got paid cash. Yeah. Because Mr. Horn didn't want this coming back to him, so you just paid out cash to Mr. Bailey. I don't know. I got paid. I don't know. You got paid though. I didn't get them. And then Mr. Bailey backed out of your case shortly thereafter. And another lawyer came on your case, right? Bailey wasn't able to represent me because the judge went down. Okay. So he's been paid, well, either be it 50,000, 30, whatever it is, he's been paid. And then he gets you another lawyer, right? Right. And the same 38,000 in cash shows up for that lawyer, right? Right. All right. And you guys talked about that cash, and in fact, your lawyer, during this interview with the police in August, said, whoa, this money's all documented, all that stuff, right? Your lawyer talked for a while, trying to explain where this money came from, right? I can't remember. I think so. Okay. Yep. And then one of the detectives also jumped up and said, now that they paid for your lawyer, it was understood that you were with him. Or words to that extent. What do you mean? What? If I pay for your lawyer, wouldn't I expect you to help me out and keep your mouth shut? No, not necessarily, because you bring me a part of this, and then you know what I'm saying, like, you make your statement to the police, and you hire me to do this and make a statement and turn me in, then, you know, right, wrong, I might as well go with, you know, the same person that hired me and made a statement on me, I might as well just, you know, keep it real and tell the truth. This is who hired me, right? And so, and then there you go. This is who brought me in. Okay. When you tried a...
Now he said that's who brought him in. Hernandez Govan is the one who brought him in. So I guess whatever Hernandez Govan said, or what maybe he was putting out there in the streets before they locked him up, I guess old boy felt like they was gonna try to turn the tide on him. And he like, yo, listen, y'all ain't even pay me my bread, which I'm not understanding now that I'm hearing it again. Was your bread involved in these lawyer fees? I mean, I heard one said 38,000. So was you unaware that 38,000 was part of your, you know what I'm saying, part of your payment? I don't know.
Ask you again. I don't know joking them like it. I don't know joking. Okay. So I'm not with them. When they gave you the money, they didn't give me the money. I was locked up. When they gave the lawyer the money, you think Mr. Govan came up with $50,000 in cash to pay the lawyer? Objection, Your Honor, counsel speculation. All right, we've already answered this. You said you know it came from there. Your lawyer told you. I got it. So let's move from that to Was Mr. Juke ever interviewed by the police in this case?
I don't know.
You read the discovery in your case, did you not?
No, I ain't read all that. I ain't had old 1,000 pages.
All right. So
Wow. So, Juke name was in the discovery. Meaning, from my knowledge, everything that goes on in your case, it's going to be in this discovery. Who's telling, your minutes, what you said, what they got, what they charging you with. All this is going to be broken down in your discovery. And they said Juke's name was in it. So now my question is, why would Juke's name be caught up in that? One. Two, that puts a connection with Juke and Hernandez Govan. And three, now you indirectly tying in CMG with this, which is Yo Gotti. Right? Because that has to be documented that Yo Gotti pays Big Juke. Or let's just say the label that Yo Gotti owns. But I ain't the lawyer, people. You know what I mean? Let's figure this out together.
So in here, when you said I looked at the discovery after your March interview,
I saw my fault was short.
okay. Your part was short, even though you're the one with the AK-47 committing a murder, telling them about AutoZone, telling them about I went here, I went there. Let's look at that. All right. You talked about pressure wound. You know pressure wound, right?
Yeah.
You know what it looks like. You've been there before.
Yeah.
Sometimes people sell drugs there.
I don't know, but I don't know. Like that. I can't say all that.
All right.
I can't say all that.
You said you've been pressure. What did your pressure wound for?
I went up there with him to get it, Mr. Govan to get it covered before. And then I went the day of the shooting, I met Mr. Govan up there.
All right. So is in your testimony now, if I just asked you, you've been there before, you know what it looks like. You've only been there twice. Is that your
I
testimony?
can't tell you how many times I've been to get a car wash, sir.
Okay. You live in the same neighborhood as Mr. Govan, just a couple minutes away.
Yes, sir.
The pressure room's just a couple minutes away from both you guys.
Yes, sir.
And you know what it looks like.
Yes, sir.
And you've been there.
Yes, sir.
And you've been there without Mr. Govan.
No, sir.
Okay, so is it fair to say then that you're saying you've only been there twice in your life?
I can't tell you because I probably been there 2-3 times with him. I don't know. I just can't tell you, sir.
Okay, so it was, I went there to get my car, he got his car washed.
Excellent answer.
Why did I'm sorry, I apologize.
Okay.
You went there one time with Mr. Govan so he could wash his car.
Get it car wash.
Okay. And the next time you mentioned it was to pick up your phone.
It tastes exactly.
Pick up your phone.
If you want to say that, yes, sir. I went back to pick my phone up from him at the car wash. He told me to meet him where he get it car wash because I already knew. So, I went there and met him.
And then there may have been other times you went to the car wash with Mr.
No, I'm not saying all that, sir.
Okay.
I'm not saying that.
When you go to pressure room, you do notice there's cameras all around the building and there's only one way in and
I
out.
don't notice all that, but it might be.
Okay. So if I'm a good detective.
Now listen, people, this is a guy that they talking to that is the shooter. He's admitting to shooting young Dolph, right? He's admitting to someone paying him to kill young Dolph. This is someone you listening to that's telling you the person that was involved with paying that bill to unalive young Dolph, he's with. Told him meet me at the gas station. Met him at the gas station. So the point I'm making is he's showing that there is a connection between him and Hernandez Govan. This is why Hernandez Govan was nervous 4 years ago. So that's what I'm thinking now. Like, yo, you know what? I think Yo Gotti threw his little spin on it, broke that munyon off, and everybody went home, literally. Unless dude was just a public defender and he's just that. Oh, okay, I'm here for the poor people. Because he's speaking like he did this case for free. When we heard his little outro. But who am I?
You say with the pressure room, certainly they would have gone to the pressure room, seen the cameras, and asked for surveillance footage, right?
I wish they did, sir. I can't do their job, well, I don't know. I can't tell them. I don't know what they did, sir.
Right. When you talked about when the meeting happened, was it just you and Jook when the meeting happened?
No, me, Joe, and Mr. Hernandez, Govan, sir.
And was that planned in advance?
Nah, I told you I was just putting up Peter's actually, Joe was already over. Govan was like, we're going to see right here. You know what I'm saying? This is what we have to be the other day. Joe was like, hold on, put the phone, you know what I'm saying? Don't trust you like that.
With regards to trying to figure out when this meeting happened with Jook, that's the first time you saw him, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
change my song.
And you just know Mr. Govan for a very short period of time prior to this meeting, right?
Right.
Okay, but Govan, even though you don't even know, approached you and said you want to kill some people.
Now he said, you know, paper I got hits on the head. Now you want to kill some people. Paper I got hits on the head. Boundaries on it.
Right, so
This our turn. You know what I'm saying? Street. This our turn. I always seen.
so is he doing a public service announcement saying, hey, there's a bounty on these people, or is he
You don't
telling
do
you?
shit like that. You don't do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You first, you got to figure a person out. So that's basically what he was doing, figuring me out. He saw buying pills for him. So I probably need a little money because I get pills on crazy, whatever for him. You know what I'm saying? And
Then he gets pills from him. From who? Rose Gold Salute, my guy. Where you getting the pills from? You know what I'm saying? So the lawyer trying to like tie both his shoelaces. Old boy ain't really falling for it, but he's putting himself again around Jook and Hernandez Govan. So again, how did he get this off? You know what I mean? How did he get this off? It's crazy.
he saw me and Bobby tight, so he figured me out. And like, you want to make some money?
Okay. And so this is a murder Mr. Govan couldn't do himself to make $100,000. He needed you to do it and maybe get $10,000.
I don't know what he could have did himself, but I don't know. I can't tell you all this, sir. He had a whole bunch of young guys around, you know what I'm saying? So I guess he wanted to just send his own help,
So now you got a whole bunch of guys that he was talking to this about.
Nah, I'm saying he had young guys around, we'll come around, so,
See, he's trying to catch him up again. He said he got a whole bunch of young guys. See, I wouldn't even said that. Because now he's like, yeah, he got a whole bunch of guys around him. So now with the people's going to intake, word. So he's just a young guy sitting around him just ready to go commit murder. So the lawyer tried to catch him up again, try to tie both his shoelaces.
So is everybody supposed to be told to go out and kill people?
I don't know, sir. I don't know, but I'm not finna sit here and lie, sir.
Okay. But now you're telling me that he had other young people out here and everybody knew that there was a price on
I didn't say everybody. I don't know who I knew, sir, but I know me, Bobby, Jesse, and the other guy. I don't know who I knew because I'm not with their little crew, so what they talked about when I went around, I don't know, sir. You know what I'm saying? I was Bobby's partner. I wasn't his partner really, but once me and Bobby, he saw me and Bobby was, then he, started, trying to play a bundle.
Alright. So
Now listen to him, because he's going to get into the word around the street. Govan was a rat already. Pay attention.
gentleman that you've just recently met decided he's going to trust you enough to tell you that there's a price on people's head. And just like that, you trust some guy living in Orange Mountain to be able to come through with the money based on his representation.
No, it wasn't any representation. It's just, when you're hungry for some money, you get out there and get your hand dirty, you know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, I had already saw Jude, like after he told us, and we went on one mission, and Bobby clarified that, his brother good, good for. And Juke was over there when I met him. Juke clarified that our money was gonna be good. It's go time.
Right, but remember,
We done been to the club together and everything.
I get it, but
And Juke was at the club too.
right, I understand you're told your money is good, but the problem with that statement is you'd already shot at Mr. Wu, he said close to a month or so before meeting
Nah, I
with
didn't say no money, so before me no Juke. I didn't say it. It was a couple days later. When I pulled up and got them pills, it probably was the next day or 2-3 days later. I can't remember the timeline, but it wasn't no couple months.
You said 2 weeks, maybe a month.
Nah,
That was incorrect.
I didn't say that, sir. I didn't say that. It was like probably the next day I pulled up over the battle field from the next day or two. I don't know exactly when. And he was like, here go the Z right here. This who put their work in. Who shot it up.
Right, so if all this is already known and understood, why would Mr. Jook need you to take your phones out and then walk you through how much everybody's worth? You already knew all that.
You want me to be honest with you? I'll be honest with you. Because they were saying that Mr. Govan was like one straight or nothing like that. Was like informing and stuff like that. And, you know, they were saying he was police. So
Okay.
that's why all the phone got to go outside. You know, we talk about it.
So let me back this up. You were trying to me.
So is that? Is that they already, like, you know what I mean? Okay, well, you know what I mean? You working with us, whoop de woo. Is that why he got off? Is that why he got off?
That Mr. Govan could be police.
Nah, Bobby been told me.
Bobby told you.
And then the streets talk, you know, people in the neighborhood were saying that, you know, he had got him popping, he had got him sent to jail, and he was setting him up and stuff like that.
So let's maybe go back to scratch. You just met this guy for a short period of time over the summer. Bobby's already told you he's a snitch, maybe works for the feds.
But you can't tell me nothing about no bad like that. If he ain't did no wrong, he ain't did no police stuff, he ain't police me, so I don't just take the streets say that about anybody, you know what I'm saying? They probably saying that about me right now.
Your friend Bobby Carter told you that. Your friend.
Associate.
Okay.
I don't have friends, I have associates.
Right. Your associate told you that this man that you just met is a federal snitch. You can't trust him, right?
Yeah, but people say that about anybody, man. You know what I'm saying? So, no, you ain't did no police stuff, me, like, I ain't got no bad to say about you, you know what I'm saying? Or you cool, you did. So, no, streets talk like that all the time, associates, or whatever. But he probably seen how me and him, and he ain't like that, so he come with the plan. You know, he police, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't even know what he say.
All right, so let me do that.
It's just like proving guilty to prove innocent, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the problem we're having. So let me ask you
Innocent
some
to
questions.
prove guilty, however you gotta get.
All right, so before you meet Mr. Govan, according to you, whatever that was, Bobby Carter's already giving you rumors, your associate, that he's a snitch, you can't trust him.
Nah, not before, after me and him started, you know what I'm saying, hanging out and stuff, you know what I'm saying, that was Bobby.
All right, so now you're saying Bobby told you he was a snitch after you guys
Yeah,
started
like, after he saw how our relationship was, this when he was like, you know what I'm saying, interested in, you know, that's why I feel back. He was like, that's why he want to take a pause. He ain't gonna get nothing like that, you know what I'm saying?
So your associate, Bobby Carter, that introduced you to Mr. Govan, fell back because you didn't trust Mr. Govan.
Yeah, because me and Bobby had a problem too, though, so that's why I really didn't believe him, because he had put my time on the and stuff, so I really just ain't believe everything people saying, you know what I'm saying?
All right, so now you and your associate, Bobby Carter, had problems as well.
I didn't feel, yeah, so I was like really more around him than Bobby. I didn't feel bad about because we had little difficult problems and stuff, you
So
know?
the same way we shoot with, you guys had a disagreement to work out.
Yeah.
So the car works park, even though Bobby lived just a couple of doors down, we're going to keep saying it's across from Govan's house. He was actually in front of an abandoned house, right? One or two down from Govan.
What?
The car, when you guys dropped off the Mercedes.
It was right across the street at the band house from his house.
Okay, which is 2 doors down, but on the same street from Bobby Carter's house.
Yeah, he's on the same side as Bobby, you know what I'm saying? On the same side as Bobby, but right across the street from his building.
Did Bobby ever tell you, call you and say, why is there a fancy Mercedes sitting from my house with a busted window?
I wasn't talking to Bobby at the time. Bobby text me and said, you niggas ain't gonna fuck with me. It's actually in my phone, so Bobby the one, you know, I know.
When you told
Yeah, people, it's crazy, man. I might do like a part 2 of this because I'm just breaking down it again. Like I said, this is the guy that, you know, Snow alleged he did the shooting, and he's, you know, telling the people that, and it was a hit for hire. The hit was accomplished, and he didn't get paid. And the person who was supposed to pay him was Hernandez, Govan, and Big Joe. He letting him know he met him, you know, and I ended it off the way I ended it off, you know what I'm saying, just to show y'all this could have been one of the reasons why he got off. You understand? Because if old boy saying that the word around they town that he was a rat, he only been in jail 9 months, people. Them other dudes been down maybe like 4 years. already. So I'm guessing they just caught Govez. Govan, I mean. They just caught him, so he only been down 9 months. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that played a part. Is Hernandez Govan working with the boys? Because clearly, when you look at the guy again, like I said, who did the shooting, I don't know. You know what I mean? If this is the guy who did the shooting, he breaking down how it was set up, how it was orchestrated. He breaking all this down. Now, I ain't no lawyer now, but I mean, like, come on. And he's putting you in places with y'all there together. Y'all went to clubs. He been in Jook House. Him and Govez met at the car wash. So we might just have to do that, a part two, breakdown of Hernandez Govan. I don't know how he can't be credible. He's the shooter. He's the shooter. He's breaking it down. So the only thing I can think of is, allegedly, because he got found not guilty on all charges. So allegedly, he could be working with the boys. Because Hernandez Govan even said it. He was nervous 4 years ago. He was nervous 4 years ago. So I really want to see how much time they gonna give the dude. I forgot his name. The rat. I want to see how much time they gonna give the rat. That's gonna be a sight to be seen. How much time he gonna give the rat? Top shot salute. Appreciate the pull up. Rose Gold with Papino. Charles salute. Yeah, so like I said, I'll probably drop a part two to this. Because this is deep. You know what I mean? Because the dude Hernandez Govan, I want to say at the time this was going on, or a little before, his daughter got murdered. Got unalive. Yeah, his daughter got unalive. And people saying that was connection to the lifestyle he was living. So we definitely might do a part two, you know what I mean, to that. You know what I mean? I'm going to do my little research on the dude, Hernandez Govan. And just see, and rock with this content right here. Because this is content right here. This is one of those where it's like, wow. Like I forgot the sound of hearing not guilty. You know what I mean? Here lately they've been throwing a book, and my man he not guilty of all charges. But showing that note, people, man, I appreciate everybody for pulling up. You understand? It's your boy 050 Bucks, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back. You know what I mean? I hope everybody, have a blessed evening. You dig? I gotta go dark on y'all. You understand me? Um, yeah, we gotta do a part two. You know what I'm saying? Break down break down Mr. Govaz, Mr. Henderson Govan. My bad, Govan. Word, breakdown, go Mr. Govan. Word, that's a fact. Cause that right there is something ain't right. Something ain't right, people. Man, we don't know if he got off, due to the fact, that how can I say, foreman. I don't know, but y'all already, man. I gotta promote my guy Renegade Society Production.
Dedicated grind music. Books the nerve. Mr. Shoot Right Back. Stand on business, stand on law. Stand on bodies, what they saw. Dark side. Check salute. They praying on my downfall. It's a step of them. Bam! A step of them. Bust the neuro. AKA Mr. Shoot Right Back. Stand on law. Stand on law. 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 A step of them. Y'all know what time it is. It's just never them. Never them.
That's a fact. That is a whole fact. Then I gotta go out. I'ma go dark. You know what I mean? I can't forget about my supporters, man. You understand me? I'm gonna go dark for this one. I'm gonna go dark for this one. But I definitely can't leave without giving my supporters. You know what I mean? They just do.
Oh, 50 bucks. Mr. Shoot Right Back. Mr. Shoot Right Back. Never them. Never them. Never them. Never them. Yeah. It's never them.
It's to the supporters, people, to the supporters.
Where the fake get exposed. Exposed. Must shoot right back. Us never them. Never them. Never them. Yeah. Yo. For all to my supporters. Yo. Real ones. Without y'all, this ain't no fun. Gang, 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 gang. Boom. Shout out. Shout out Brim, Brim, Brim. Shout out Harlem Legend. Platinum shine, shine, shine. To all my supporters. Yeah, I'm part of the team. Gang, 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 gang. Man, that shit a game. I just spin the block, my content. Live, I'm tight, feeling lame. Why get hot else? Moving boom. Shoot right back. Us never them. Never them. With the fake ish.
That's a fact. You dig? That's a fact. Then like I said, when y'all come in the building, well, at this time, exit in the building, hit the like button, people. You know what I mean? Share the live out. Go subscribe. Go to the community wall. I'm getting a nice little, short of my merch. You know what I mean? Go tap in. You know what I mean? Go to the community wall, tap in. That's a fact. Tap in. I got females, males. Um, we got the kids. With the kids is pretty much gonna be on on call. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Other than that, you understand me? You got to patch in, man. Patch in with your boy. Like I said, we got the female joints. You know what I mean? Got the male joints. I mean, it'll be Papino. Hold on, people. I'm getting this. I'm getting my joint up. But I can get this reel together. All right, this is one. This is one I got right here. Dope joint. So that's one joint. You know what I'm saying? Or that's one design. Should I say? You dig? And I think I passed the other joints, people. Or but the other joints, we got the females, males, shirts, hoodies, sweatpants. Pretty much top and bottom. Female joints. You know what I'm saying? Any color, you dig? Any color. It's my joint. You can even custom. See, I got my name on the sleeve. You can even custom your name on the sleeve. You know what I mean? So I'm grinding over here, people. You dig? You know, with that being said, you know, I appreciate everybody for pulling up, rocking out with your boy 050 Bucks, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Wow.